That's a great start,
Welcome,
Rupesh, with that yawn.
welcome to the conversation of possibilities with two beautiful ladies, Channa Bawa and Aradhna Tiwari. Yay! How did we get so
Yay!
lucky?
Thank you for that, Rishma.
Thank
And
you.
yes, like I was saying, it's such a special one for me today.
Oh,
I mean, with
thank
Aradhana
you.
on, who's not just a fabulous CF from Delhi, who has this fabulous facilitation and she keeps changing people's lives. But besides that, she's also a wonderful, beautiful friend of mine.
So are you, baby. Thank you for having me here. I am so
Thank
blessed, feeling
thank
so
you.
amazingly happy, joyful to be
Oh,
here.
lovely. Thank you for being on, Aradhana. It really does mean a lot. I mean, is the light okay?
Yeah.
Or am I?
You are the light, baby.
All right. Oh, thank you for saying that. Totally. All right. So, no,
So,
seriously, is the light okay or do I need to switch on another light?
um,
Is it
more will
kind of
be
dark?
better. More will be better.
Yeah,
You can
right.
put on
Okay.
another
Okay.
light. Yeah.
So, just a second. Just give me a. Is that clearer, guys?
Yes, a lot.
Yes.
Good, good,
Much
good, good.
better.
Ah, good.
Everything is lit
Okay.
now.
Everything's lit.
Now you're
Yay.
the Chandani. Chandani,
Chandani.
Chandani.
Anji. Nahi, theek
Hanji.
hai. All right. So, wow, we have people hopping on for Aradhana.
Yay! How
Yay!
does
What
it
else
get any
is
better?
possible? How special is that? When we started with this conversations of possibilities, I remember Reshma, Isha, and I were sitting and chatting, and I was like, I just want to do this. And it didn't really make any sense. It wasn't logical. I didn't know where it would take us. I didn't know what would get created with this. But I have so much of gratitude for all of you who hop on every 2 weeks, who don't tire of me and my conversations with my beautiful guests. And I truly want to thank, especially Bhagya, who has not ever missed a call. One, I know, but I mean, that was different. Yet, I really want to thank all of you for being on. And so, getting on to the conversation with Aradhana, who is from Delhi as CF, and she's also a facilitator for, tell me if I get it right, Aradhana, for the Being You class, for Right Voice for You, for Conscious Parents, Conscious Kids, and anything else? Did I miss something?
Talk to entities.
Talk to the entities, of course. And yes,
And,
and and she
and
has
everything.
and everything else, right? And yes, and it's been wonderful the way she has been. I mean, I've seen, if I can say this, Aradhana,
Yeah, sure.
I've known you now for almost 4.5 years. And what I think we've all changed. We've all, I wouldn't say we've grown or we've become better or something of that, but I would just say we've really changed in our own. And when I say we've changed, it's the space that we seem to occupy. It's the space that we seem to be, that that is something that's so inviting and so yummy. So if I can say that about you, you becomes this beautiful invitation to consciousness, and you become this wonderful, wonderful, um, this wonderful energy of of letting people know, and without even saying too much, but just by being that energy of you can change your life. And yes, I mean, that's really, really something that's been beautiful. When I see that in you, um, it's wonderful. And how much more and how much greater can you be? I really, truly wonder. I mean, 4 years isn't really long, right? 4.5 years is not really long, considering how much we've been trying to change our lives in the past 30 years, 40 years, donkeys of years.
Yeah. Totally. That's what I was remembering last week. I was like, shit, where I started and where I am today is like,
Right.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
Yes. Truly.
And I must acknowledge that what a beautiful space. This was, I keep thinking, thinking. And
What we love
that
doing.
was my dream, that to start this whole thing of having all the facilitators from worldwide, and especially Indian facilitators, and having a platform where we can just listen there. What do they know?
Yeah.
And when you started this, it was such an amazing. I was like, wow, there she is. Like, I'm
You mean I pulled it out of your head?
Yeah.
I'm
Did
good at
you,
that.
by any chance? But I'm happy because I was never anyways gonna do it. And
Thank you for creating it for me. Thank you.
I create people, and I'm like, hey, there you go. And now what next? What else is possible?
Yeah,
but
truly. I really look at every facilitator as such a beautiful gift to this world. Yeah. Every facilitator knows something. And it's just not the facilitators, if I can say that. Like I said, I think I said that in the last call also. Every person has something to offer.
Correct.
It's just that when we are willing to, it's like we are willing to receive it more from somebody who's got a stamp on than we are from just somebody who knows something, right?
Totally.
Yeah. And what do we all know? What does everybody on this call know?
I'm sure everybody is such a gift.
Yes, that's truly such a gift. And the gift that you be, Aradhana, with the conversation that we are going to have today is actually about finding your voice with addiction. I mean, that's such a wonderful, wonderful, when we were talking about what can we talk about, voice, bodies, healing, addiction, what is it that we really want to, kids, I mean, entities, the topics that we were looking at was so many. And this was something that was just it just kind of popped that, yes, finding your voice with addiction. How many people in India and all around the world are fighting addiction and trying to be heard over what we have defined is addiction, right? So what is, Radha, I'd love you to first give us a little story of yours I love stories, you know that about me, although I try not to tell stories and I try not to listen to stories. Yet somewhere
I finish stories and then I talk and then...
Yeah, right? I just get somewhere stories are such an inspiration too. Yeah. So I'd love to know your story of how you got to choose Access. What got you to choose the tools?
What got me to choose was my curiosity to find something which is very instant, which was like, I always believed that if I'm part of whole, I really don't have to work hard. I don't have to slog myself into meditations and going through different processes, which is not fun for me. Right. So it's not that I did not try anything. I mean, I did follow a lot of people, listen, and I was very curious to listen to everybody all the time. And then I was just having fun in my life. I was just enjoying the luxuries of my life. And I was like, hey, universe, is it that I'm here only for the luxuries, or what else is possible here? Was my question anyways. So I'm here to contribute in any ways, let me know. And that's when I think probably I was introduced with Access. One of my friends walks in the house and she tells me about it. And at that time, because being with the broadcasters, I guess she was interested. I was like, no, I'm not interested in listening to your story, and I'm not going to follow any guru. I'm the last one to follow a guru.
That to an American guru.
Yeah.
That's
no, I had no point of view
on
the
God.
Guru. Until then, I hadn't seen Guru, and I only had heard the clearing statement, right and wrong,
Right.
then good and bad. And it was like, what a weird sentences are you talking?
Yeah.
I'll never remember them.
So true.
But then she offered me to run my bars, and she asked me that should be charging so much. And I was like, why the hell would you be charging me?
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's a
spiritual
social
life
service,
doesn't have,
right? It's
yeah,
supposed to be
spiritual
free.
free. And then she's like, why would you not go to a parlor? And then,
Yeah.
well, actually, I
Yeah.
said, forget it. Okay, anyways, charge me whatever. Let me just have fun.
Yeah.
And that very afternoon, she ran my bars. And the moment she touched me, for the first time, I felt something moving in my body. I had been hearing ever, but I didn't know what it was. But then the sensation I had, and that kind of
Yeah.
intrigued me. I'm like, there's something which moved in my body, man. And then she gave me some questions to go through, and I felt some lightness in my world, and I was almost for 3 days, I was like kind of zoned and spaced out.
Huh.
And then went online to look for it, what it is. Couldn't find, then asked her the spellings of it, and then went online again. And there I found our Dr. Dane. And I felt like, I kind of like, first sight, such a handsome guy. I mean, where the hell on the planet am I living? Why have I stopped looking at men? And I started listening to his YouTubes. And I out of just for the fun of what he's saying, I started playing with them. And I'm like, this is not possible, especially on the red light area, like where the traffic was so much in Delhi. I said, this won't work. I'm sure this won't work. And every day I will go and, just play with it. And traffic used to move. And I was like, shit, it's happening.
Yeah.
And then it actually started working. I mean, I started applying these tools, little tools of different parts of my life. And I could see something is shifting. And actually, honestly, what got me to access was this attraction to Dane. And I wanted to meet Dane, and I was like, yeah, I have to meet him. And to meet him, I had to go through these foundation and bars class.
Right.
And I did it, and it was so much of fun for me. And then I met Dane in 2014, and there's never been looking. And honestly, when I saw him for the first time, I'm like, hey, why the hell did I even come to see him here?
Yeah.
Like, not such a great thing that I'm like, running after.
I know.
But after 4 days, my entire life shifted, and I've never looked back. And it was just a fun and joy, and I'm still having the fun and joy of it.
It's so interesting when you say that, you went, your first, what pulled you was his looks, was him being such a handsome man.
Yeah.
And I remember when I got introduced, if I can say the same thing here, and I got introduced to Access, and I did the bars and the foundation, and my friend told me, there's this wonderful book called Being You, and you have to see the man on the cover. He has these most beautiful, what was the word used? Most beautiful, hypnotizing eyes. And she said, just read the book. And she gave me the book. And I looked at the book and I said, I don't find him handsome, but he's got this energy that could kill me. I remember saying this to her. And she said, what on earth does that mean? I don't know. He's just good looking and he's a fabulous looking guy. Yeah. And I remember we all went to, we went to Bombay, and we went for the Being You class, which is now coming up in. Yes, I think that was the first time we met, Aradhana.
Yeah.
We probably didn't even meet.
Yeah, it was just hi.
Saw each other, and probably just said hi, and that was it. And yes, the energy that he is, and the energy that he allows himself to be, without a judgment of it, is such an invitation.
Totally.
It's such an invitation, because at that time, it's more of like, wow, we can actually be whatever we are choosing to be without really shutting ourselves down.
Correct.
Right?
And I was in a question of that what is it that kind of attracted me in Dean? It's not that,
Yes, it was the energy, right?
It's not about, I do not get what love is, but then there is something more to it.
Yeah.
And until then, I discovered that he was the first person ever in my life who kind of received me without any judgment.
Yeah.
Even your parents receive you with judgment. So
yes. Yes.
So that was the first time I felt received so beautifully.
How wonderful, yeah. And that space of actually being received without judgment is something that's so new for all of us, and something that's so unheard, right?
Correct.
That is so beautifully put, yeah. Wow. Yes.
So that is
Thank you for sharing that. And then I guess you said, no stopping me now, baby.
Never.
Now that I have tasted consciousness.
Yeah. Oh my God, I
Please look
love it like
out.
how. I love it like how.
Yes, yes. And I think it shows in your very, in your facilitation, in your very being. It just
Yeah.
shows. You're like
Yeah.
this
I think
joyful.
I live and eat and drink and do everything in constant access. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
people have complaints. You use too much of access. I said, that's me. Leave me.
yeah,
And I will not
yeah,
change.
yeah. True.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting because you said you eat, you drink it, and then before that we spoke about
Addiction.
a space of having no judgment.
Yeah.
And our conversation is about finding your voice with addiction. I mean,
Yeah.
addiction is, it does stem from judgment, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to know what you have to share here.
So,
Aradhana.
my entire life is kind of, my personal life is based on addiction. So it's like I have it seen in my family, and in the beautiful part of it is I never judged it when I saw it. I had no judgment to it. I had been receiving my family ever since with no judgment. And suddenly there was a change in my life where I kind of took in responsibility of kind of what addiction meant. For years, like when I got married, I never knew what addiction, though my uncles were into addiction, which I till did not know, acknowledged it. And then my husband was into it, and he's such an amazing gift. And like, I wonder why we make addictions wrong. Addictions is a beautiful gift, and it's a different journey altogether. So for me to comprehend the word addiction took me years, because I did not know what addictions meant. I just thought that's a different way of living, and anybody lives in a very different zone. Yes, I definitely get that now over the years, that first, what if we do not make addiction wrong? Then what can you receive from it? So the whole aim is that the projection about the addiction word is so much in the reality, that it's amazing when I see and meet people that, oh, somebody's addicted. But we all are addicted in some or the other manner to something or the other. So wherever we're not willing to acknowledge addictions is an amazing space. Like, first stop making it wrong and right.
Yeah.
And that's the first place and space that you can give to anybody, and not look at the other person with that judgment. So for
Right.
me, like when I said that when Dane for the first time received me, he received me with no judgment. I did have my own addictions. I'm sure I had what I had. But he had no point of view. And I remember looking at him so-called ugly or weird shape of this reality people, and saying, oh, how beautiful you are. I'm like, what the hell is he saying? Why the hell is he saying that? What does that mean in his world? So for me, that was a space that I started looking and questioning there itself. So,
Mm.
and ever since I've been into that journey, I now have come to a point where I see that, we get into addictions, we get into stuff which is giving us calmness, which is giving us ease, and, something which we have all our barriers to stand against. The space of addiction gives us that comfort, that it becomes, that uncomfortable place becomes so comfortable that to move out, it takes like ages, because we've never seen a world which is existing, which is non-judging. So
Right.
especially people who are into addictions, I have found their own space there. It's not being wrong or right, it's just a different space. So it's how you would like to treat with them, is then from here it starts. Like, if you meet them and be with them with no point of view, what are they gifting you?
That's so beautiful what you just said. Like, it's a space of comfort that they create for themselves where they want to live,
Yeah.
right? And you said something which was, you said addiction is a gift
Yeah.
before that. So
Yeah.
can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. So when I say that, it was in my family. So for years I did not know what addiction is, and I started fighting it, because that's what as a wife I was supposed to. Because when I got married to my son, my husband, then I was like, I got married to my son. I'm like, wonder, how did I do that?
I got married to my husband. Now,
Husband.
that's an
No,
interesting one too.
I like that. Spoken context. So, it's like, so when I had no point of view on him. And I remember, me being told that he is into addiction, or like he drinks. And I'm like, yeah, so what? It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, I was like, it's okay by me. I have no point of view on that. And my father telling me. And then when I met him, I never judged him. I was so happy around being with him. I had no point of view. But the moment I got married, I was in the box of marriage. I became his mother as well. It's my responsibility. He is doing something wrong.
Yeah.
And it became, and it's such a gift to me in my life. And I'm totally grateful to him in all the moments. I mean, every time, wherever sitting on the planet, he's in my facilitation, he's into my classes, he's everywhere with me, gifting me. I am today because of those gifts. I am what I am because I worked on myself, because I had to fight it out.
Yeah,
and now
how
I've
much
given
of
up.
right. Yeah.
So now I've given all my fights away, and now it's become my best friend. It's like, hey, okay, what is it that, and to find, okay, what other way can I, help it? How other way can I help it? Nothing was wrong. That journey wasn't wrong where I came from and wherever I was working. And that made me look in more deeper into myself, my journey. Where am I? What can I change in me that can change in him?
Right.
And now I find like I've completely shifted. And I'm like, shit. Had he not been into it, had he not been showing that mirror to me and a projection of mine, I wouldn't have been where I am. And now I have no judgment left to it. I'm like, hey, thank you. You're most welcome. And I remember hearing of a movie Las Vegas, I think. So there where the actress was a prostitute and the boyfriend was a alcoholic. And how they were like, every evening she used to come back from her work getting a bottle of whiskey for him, and he kind of adoring her and having a whiskey and the romance. I'm like, wow, what is that? Like, that allowance, that whole allowance, I really had to work. And Bhagya was an amazing gift for me on that journey, that, when I was into it, that how to be on allowance.
Yeah.
She totally supported me and totally gifted me those awarenesses of her and to how to be, and I didn't know. And it's over the journey with her and over the period that I worked on myself regarding the addiction, that I realized that I was already in allowance. So I
Right.
didn't even see it. I was
Yeah.
judging me how to be.
Yeah, right. I mean, how much do we judge what allowance is and how
Yeah.
to be in allowance, right?
Yeah.
Which has us actually so often constantly judging, are we in
Yeah.
allowance or are we not in allowance? And then
Correct.
creating more of that to see
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
much more allowance can we have.
And
Instead of,
judgment is a bigger addiction than any
yes,
other addiction.
right?
And wherever we
So
define
true.
that addictions are only drinking, smoking, gambling,
Yeah.
no. I think this whole society, this reality is addicted.
Yeah.
And we are
And
addicted to
addiction, yeah.
ourselves as an addiction of our own judgment.
Yeah,
And
that
I
is the
could see
biggest
that
one.
all the time with him. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm asking him not to do it, but I also have a habit of nagging him all the time. I didn't need access at that point. I could just see it.
Yeah.
And I started working on myself, that the day I can conquer on myself, but I can change that for others.
Right.
But now the more I'm in allowance of my own self, I'm more in allowance with everyone and everything around me.
Absolutely. Because
Arad,
when I
I have a
also when
question.
you go in, yeah, well, also um, when you go into allowance of yourself is actually when you and that's when also you have no point of view about what's right and what's wrong, and then you're not fighting for the rightness of your point of view anymore. Then, right?
Yes, totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally. And it's such a beautiful journey. And beyond that, there's so much to be in gratitude of each other, the gifts the other person is being, everything around you is being, and everything, it's very easy to see everything which is nice and kind and lovely and beautiful.
Mm.
But the other part of the coin, nobody wants to see, which is called negative, wrong, bad, ugly. What?
Mm.
And that is called addiction in this reality. But what if that is not addiction? What gift is it, that addiction that you're not seeing? So I have this very weird example of, all the time I give this weird example of Ramayan. Ramayan wouldn't have been Ramayan if there was no Rakshas and the Ravan in it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the story
So
wouldn't
true.
have been interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to have that one. That
Correct. So
one.
what gift?
Like I
What
always
gift?
laugh. Yeah, I always laugh. There's always one joker in every family.
Correct.
Just
And
make sure
and
you're not a joker.
that is the most beautiful gift you have.
Yeah, right. I
So
mean, what if every every person is truly a gift. And
Everyone is. That's
so,
just
Reshma, we'll come to your question, darling. Just give me 10 minutes or 5 minutes if you can give us. Yeah. I just wanted to talk a little more about what, if I can, if it's okay
yeah,
to
yeah.
go
Please,
there.
please, please go
Yeah.
ahead.
I mean, as a wife,
Yeah,
how challenging, as a daughter, as a wife, when you
it
see your
is.
father
So
or your husband
yeah,
addicted to alcohol, addicted to drugs, addicted to sex, addicted to something that is interfering
yeah,
in your creating a greater life, because
yeah.
somewhere you are connected to
Correct.
your father, to your husband. You do look up, you do look to him
Yeah,
for security, for money, for, I mean, how many women are really
yeah,
working
yeah.
in our country, right? I mean, most of
True,
the women do look at their men for
true.
money. And how often does addiction come in the way of them creating a life?
Yeah.
So what, as a wife, what, as a woman, as a daughter, or as a son, or what, as a husband, if your wife is into addictions,
Yeah.
how do you deal with, how do you make that work for you?
So the first thing first, Jana, there comes is stop making them wrong.
Yeah.
That is not a wrongness. First, you have to take your projections and expectations of that this is wrong. As I said, that when I started with my journey and when I met him, I was like so happy with being around with him. I had no judgment. The moment I bought those point of views, my life became hell.
Right.
And the more I have given up those point of views, my life is becoming beautiful each day. So, that whole projection of this is something wrong, having extra sex is wrong, having drink. How much really do you want to do that? Where are you? What are they showing you? Are you first willing to be that allowance of them? If they're not right and wrong, then what space can you be for them to just be? I mean, how would you like to be judged if you were doing the same thing? So it's exactly like I said that if I can't stop nagging, who am I to stop him having what he's doing for what his choices? So somewhere deep down, we are making their choices wrong. You are on your own journey and they're on their own journey. And if it's working for you, fine. The moment you are first clear with this thing that you are not going to judge it, you're not going to be projecting anything. Now does this whole package works for me?
Yeah, so it's like a whole package.
Yeah,
That's
it is
like,
not just one
yeah,
thing.
right. And generally what happens with people is that we start to focus on just the addiction.
Exactly.
Takes away from everything else, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you look at the whole package, that okay, this things in this relationship, this works for me. Now it's a choice. You always have a choice to you. And that's what I love about Gary. That's what I love about Access. You have a choice.
Yeah.
And the day I acknowledge, fuck, I have a choice, man.
Yeah.
I'm still choosing to be her.
Yeah.
So it's okay. I'm not making my choice right and wrong. Okay. If you really have to move out, go step out and move. And it's so beautiful. I mean, after 3 days, you get it when you get it. Like after this 3 day class with Shannon, I was on my way home. And I was like, Shannon beautifully just said something around Max. And she's like, it's about his body. Even when my husband does it, I'm like, why the hell is he creating that shit? It's his body, his monkey.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow. I said, I'm
Yeah.
having it, whatever it takes me to, I'm having this. And by the time I was here in Delhi, and I'm like, yeah, it's his body, his choice. It has nothing to do with me. And I'm very grateful he's there, he's alive, he's happy, he's joyful, he's gifting me everything. Wow, what else is possible? This works for me, this doesn't work for me.
Right. Now that's the point, right? This works for me and this doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's where you need to recognize what really is working and what really is not working. And that's where lies the line of being an allowance and then turning into a doormat. Right?
Totally.
So can you talk a little bit about that, please?
Yeah. So
I know lots of people have texted me and they said, we really want to know the difference between, I mean, how much do you take shit from your partner or from your kids who are addicted?
It's a choice again.
Yeah.
It's a choice of not to be judged.
Okay.
So it's like your allowance becomes a doormat when you're willing to be judged. And you're judging yourself to having that from that person. So it's like if, for example, if anybody wants to live with the husband, and then for example, for me, everything works financially. For me,
Right.
everything works the space he gives me.
Right.
For me, I love the family I'm with. I love everything about that person. But yes, certain things don't work for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I'm willing to be seen, judged for it, as long as it gives me comfort. There was a time where I wasn't very willing to be that energy because I
Yeah.
wasn't willing to be judged around the world, and it was my responsibility. But the moment I chose that it's his
Yeah.
body is choosing whatever it's choosing, it has nothing to do with me, it
Mm-hmm.
started shifting.
Right.
Okay, his body. And would I like to go out with this body at this point of time? No.
Mm-hmm.
For that, I probably will have to give this. Okay, I'll give this up. Going out with my husband in the night.
Mm.
That's
Right.
okay. And it took me courage because I totally love and adore to be with him all the time. And we've done that for years.
Right.
But now he gets it because I was very clear this is not going to work for me.
Mm.
Everything starts from me in my reality, and then anybody else.
So what you mean to say is, so you go out even without him,
I
which
do.
is, yeah, and which is your way of saying that I'm not going to stay home just because you can't go out, and just because
Exactly.
that's what is your choice. And so
Yeah,
when I choose to sit home because you have to sit home, is when I become a doormat.
totally.
Right. So that's
If
what,
you're sitting at home, I'm not
yeah,
even saying that. If you're sitting at home with him,
yeah,
or with any partner of your parents or with anybody,
yeah,
but are you even happy about it? I mean,
right.
how many
Yeah,
times I'm with him, I hardly go out
yeah,
at times.
yeah.
I just don't feel like, because I really want to spend that time being with him, around
But
with
it's
him.
also choosing for yourself when you
Yeah.
want to go out, and
Yes.
not just staying because he doesn't want to go out. So that's the
Exactly.
difference between being an allowance and
Yeah.
turning into a doormat,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so beautifully put.
Yeah.
And in fact, Ramya says, can you please elaborate more on the doormat?
So what does being a doormat means to you? Who makes you a doormat? Nobody has that capacity to make you a doormat. Only your opinion, because you do not want to be opinionated by others, that who you are you a good wife? Are you a good mother? Are you a good daughter? That is what has been judged in the world. And you do not want to. You want to have the fun of the other part of the world, and still at the same time be called as a good wife, good daughter, good wife, or a
Yeah,
husband, or blah blah, whatever
yeah.
XYZ relationship you have.
Mm-hmm.
So what is doormat? You, I mean, can I pick up a knife and come and slit your throat? Would you allow me, Channa, to do that?
Oh, no way, woman.
As simple as that. So when you have that capacity to stop and protect yourself, you have all the
Yeah.
capacities to stop. So people ask me a lot of time. I have this the change group where I have post a question every morning. So a
It's a
lot of people
beautiful
ask.
group, if I
Oh,
can
thank
say
you.
that. I am a part of it and I love the questions you
Oh,
put out.
awesome.
They are all so wonderful. And everybody who's not a member, I would highly suggest you become one.
Yeah, thank you. So a lot of people on that group ask me, how? How do I stop? And I'm like, just stop. I will not give you an elaboration on it. You know how to stop. If I pick up a knife and come and slit your throat, if you allow me and you do not know, then I can tell you how. But there is no how. There is just a way, like, what is the value of being a doormat?
Mm,
So where are you not willing to be so brutally honest to you?
right. Yeah.
It's always a judgment that makes you go to a doormat. Judgment that you're not willing to have from the world.
So, can you say a little more on that? When you say that it's a judgment of what you're not willing to receive from the world, is
Yeah.
what makes you into a
So,
doormat.
for example, what I told you, as if I was a wife, I can go out in the night.
Yeah.
There was a stage where everything was like, oh, would you go out alone? Would you come alone? And you're, oh, he's such a nice guy. He's such a beautiful person.
Mm,
And you're leaving him. I'm like,
mm,
yeah, because I would not like to go. And okay, it can be various in this reality, in the society. You have zillions of people who are going to come and judge you around it.
mm-hmm.
That why is she coming alone? Okay, her husband is drinking or blah, 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 XYZ. I'm like, yeah, interesting point of view.
Mm,
But the beauty of it, because I do not have a point of view, nobody comes and says me anything.
Right. Yeah.
But the moment if I had the doubt of it, that, oh my God, if I go out in this party, what would people gonna say? How are they gonna react? 10
Yeah.
people will come and stand and tell me the same thing.
Right.
Your point of view creates your reality.
Yeah.
So what is that judgment? What is that doormat? If anybody wants to come and talk, like, I would love to have their example. Where are they feeling as a doormat in their life? From their lives. I mean, if you want to come up with an example.
Aradhana says where you, Bhagya says where you choose to place yourself in life matters. Yes, so
Exactly.
true. And Reshma, please come on, honey.
Yes. So, Aradhana, when you're saying where I feel like a doormat is when anybody can say anything and walk off. I don't need
Why,
to.
so why would you not let anybody, why would you let anybody speak anything what they want to say?
No, that's exactly what. Then I go into a space of fighting. Like, how the hell do you say that to me? How can you talk to me like that?
Okay. So
It
do you
becomes,
get up and say that?
of course, I mean, recently I had an episode with a friend of my dad,
Mm-hmm.
and he abused, like literally abused, and I gave it back to him. He was not expecting that, but then it's sort of a stress for me, it's not fun
So,
for me.
so, so exactly, I was about to ask you that question. Is fighting fun for you? And do you have to fight for you ever?
No, I didn't get the question.
So do you, exactly, everything that was to me, let that go. So where have you concluded that to have you and have your presence in the world, you'll have to fight you?
Mm.
What does a fight in your world means?
To stand up.
So where do you think? So you already think that you're not standing up.
Yeah.
So that's when you're fighting.
Mm.
So you are judging yourself somewhere deep down. To stand up, you have to have certain rules and certain things have to come your way. Then you will be looked at as stood up girl. And then you probably might not have to fight it.
Yeah. So how do you come to this space of no judgment or no point of view?
So first thing is first, let's stop fighting the judgment.
Okay.
Okay, I'm judging myself. Fine. I'm judging it. Keep judging yourself for hours, for days, for months without any point of view. Because that's fun for me. And the day you choose not to, it's okay. Consciousness includes everything, including judgment.
Yeah.
Stop judging that you're judging. Play
Right.
with the judgment. Keep judging. I do all the time. It's so much of fun. Oh my God. It's like, okay, I'm judging that. I'm playing the story. I'm doing this. I'm gossiping. Yeah, I can because I can. It's fun for me. And the time it isn't, I give up. So like, it's like at times you're screaming at your kids and you're like, okay, because I can. What if I have to have no reasoning ever for anything? Just because I can, out of joy, I can scream, and nothing is right and wrong. This moment, I felt like screaming. I screamed. Okay, now I can scream more. I can scream more, and then 10 minutes later, I'm laughing from inside. I'm like, forget it. I don't want to scream anymore.
Yeah.
Just a choice. We only judge ourselves more when we are fighting the judgment. Stop fighting. For nothing you have to fight ever. You are a gift. You have to acknowledge yourself as a gift, walking, talking gift. There is nothing that you have to fight in this world for. You have everything. That whole awareness of having everything, having your own back, and everything, and anything and everything that other people say is an interesting point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, does that make it easy?
Yes.
Start judging yourself.
Yes. So the question that I had earlier
Hmm.
was, you said something like, when you changed something within you, uh, your husband or whoever, like your family, sort
Hmm.
of shifted.
Yeah.
So are we trying to say that what we are within is what is without? I mean, in the outside, or
Yeah.
I'm obviously trying to get this. So
You're not going to resist anything what you're not willing to be.
no, say that again.
What you're not willing to have or be is only the thing you're going to resist. So if you like the moment you started fighting with the other person, So it was like, hey, really, do I have to fight for myself in my world? Do I have
Mm.
to prove myself? Which already, that person gave you awareness about you already. That, hey, you need to prove, you have a need in your world. A need is
Mm.
a lie to
Mm.
prove what you are as a beautiful gift, and you are one. I know
Very-
that.
Thank you. Yes, I get what you're saying. So thank you so much. That's really
Yeah. So every
well.
time anything comes up, anytime your barriers come up with the world, with addictions, with anything, just look at, what am I resisting here to receive? What is the other person gifting you? And that's when I said that niceness, goodness, everything receives beautifully. That, though that is also a judgment. You get stuck in that niceness and goodness forever. You're jailed into it.
Yeah.
So negativity and addictions becomes such a beautiful gift, because that is where we are willing to change everything. Otherwise, you won't change. You're like constant, because we are goody goods. How would I have looked more prettier today if I would not have worked on myself?
And
So
if I
that
could also
is,
say something here, Adna, it's also about us defining it as a problem that we can't change,
yeah,
right? Which
yeah,
has us taking our claws out and getting ready for the fight
yeah.
before
It's
the
always
fight
been
can even start.
fight. There is no
Yeah,
fight. There isn't any fight.
yeah,
When you're whole and complete, there isn't fight.
yeah.
The
It's
reason of
like,
fighting is somewhere deep down you're wrong.
yes.
Yeah.
Hi.
So
Yeah.
everywhere you guys are making yourself wrong, can we first give up that? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot for all nice boys and girls. Wow. That was like awesome energy.
No one's making themselves wrong
Good.
here. Everyone's
Yeah.
loved, everybody loves themselves.
Anything I would like you guys to take back from this call is, please start acknowledging what a beautiful gift you are on the planet. Your being you as it is, wherever you are, howsoever you are, is a gift.
Yeah.
There is nothing that you're going to move towards. There's nothing that you're going to receive. There's nothing that you're moving towards. You are what you are, and you're a gift in itself. You don't have to fight for yourself. You have to be proud of yourself, joyful about yourself, and sexy about yourself. Awesome.
Yeah. And it's almost like we keep trying to, when you said to recognize that, we are all a gift, it's almost like we want people to see us that we are a gift
Yeah,
instead of just being the gift, right?
yeah. Be that gift. Acknowledge in your worlds. You're the beautiful, the most beautiful. And actually, and I remember when I met Dane for the first time, that's what I wanted. I was like, I'll have that, what he sees in everyone.
Yeah.
And I would love to acknowledge that I'm already being that. I'm like, yeah, everybody I see, I'm like, wow. The whole world is like blast with that energy of the gift that person has it.
Yeah.
Each being. And they're like, we're trying our hard. And, even the new people who come into access, like they're just coming for bars, or they're into access or non-access. But you just look at them and like, wow, wow. And it's like, but we think that we have to reach somewhere. We have to be doing something to be there. No, it just is. Everything that is being received. It's so difficult for everybody to receive that we can be a gift. I love that. Fucking part that, guys. So,
Yeah. I
Have
mean,
you been?
we are not even tied up in ribbons, right? How can we be a
No strings attached.
Hi Monish, you have a question, darling?
Said no strings attached, no ribbons.
Not at all. No strings, no ribbon, nothing. So Meena has a question for you, darling. She says, how do we get into allowance?
okay. So the allowance is amazing. I think Bhagya is amazing for that. It's
I was
like,
just thinking, well, this
yeah.
call seems to be more about allowance.
So it's like, I am so grateful to Bhagya, and when you ask, whatever you ask, that shows up. And I was asking for that because I got stuck at allowance for years. I think almost 2 years. I was stuck at, what is allowance? How does it look like?
Yeah.
Allowance is what you have to work with for yourself. You have to have allowance for you first. So it doesn't show up. Like, when I started like with my son, and I'm coming, and like he's playing on the television. He's like up throughout the night, and I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And he learned access at that point of trying to out manipulate me. And I'm like, he's like, Mom, where's your allowance gone?
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like,
Kids love using that,
okay,
right?
allowance. And okay, fine. Okay, I'm okay. It's okay. That doesn't mean that I said, no, Mom, where's allowance? And I did not know what to answer him.
Hmm.
Over the years, and I learned it. I'm like, hey, allowance is that much, that this is my house. I'm allowing you. In my house, my rules work.
Yeah.
You want to stay in my house, be here, as Gary also says, that this is my house, as long as I'm not killing you, that is my allowance. So in my house, my rules work. Tomorrow you have your house, your rules work for you. I was willing to be judged as a bad mother. So that is allowance for me. This works for me. At the same time, okay, first me and then him. So it is not only related to your husband, it is related to everybody, your child, because those are the points where you get into weak, your parents. So, that allowance of you, what you like, what would you like to have it? Because we have this reality that, oh, the other person allowed me to do that.
Or he
Really?
stopped me from doing that, right?
Yeah, oh, he's so
Either way.
kind. He doesn't stop me to do anything. He lets me go around the world. He does so. My mom is so beautiful. She lets me do everything. Nobody can let you do anything. You're choosing. It's your choice. So the moment you get out of that, anybody can allow you. The only person who has to give that permission is you to you. And the more you give it to you, the more you'll be an allowance. And the more you'll be an allowance of you, you'll be an allowance of others. So I can give you my example. I have my funny examples of my life. So it's like, first time I wanted to go to Dubai and do the body class, because there was 5 years back down the line, there was nothing of doing these courses making any sense. And I'm going to do a course in Dubai, and I'm like, who would allow me here? In this is not any marked studies that I'm doing, that after that I'll get a, certificate or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I said, no, but I'm choosing, I have to go. And I was like, okay, I'll just go, whatever's going on in the house. And that time there was a lot of shit going on. And I was like, I'm going, I have to do this class, guys. And my family was like, right now, this is not the time, I said, I'm sorry, then I won't get another chance. I manipulated them and I went. But the thing was, I was having more allowance because that workshop I knew created more for me. I went and I came. After that, anybody said anything to me, didn't bother to. Had I not gone, stayed, they would have said something about it, and I would have not been able to take it. But now, when I had done what I had done for myself, I was joyful. Nothing mattered.
So what you're also saying here, Aradhana, is that when you're choosing for yourself, it's not about choosing against somebody.
Yes,
it's just that you're choosing for the greater, for something that you are aware of, right? And you're willing to choose for yourself without really. It's not about
you don't have to reason it out.
It's not about giving a validation for it. It's just about choosing.
And the beauty of the choice is every choice gives you awareness, and then you will have to be the part of that.
Yeah.
If, the possibilities show up with your choices, only you will have to go through them.
Yeah.
So today, if I choose to put my hand in the fire, my hand is going to get burnt. So every choice creates an awareness.
Yeah.
So play. You're here to play.
And it's also about, so let me just ask you a question here.
Yeah.
If there's, coming back to addiction, if there is addiction, which is, okay, let's talk about maybe kids or maybe her husband or a wife or whatever, family member that you are living with. And there is an addiction which is coming in the way, like I spoke about earlier, right?
Right.
And there's a point of view there that this addiction is not allowing, addiction of abuse, Reshma says. Absolutely. I mean, that's an addiction too, right? I mean, it's a very big addiction in everywhere in the world, actually. So when there is that kind of addiction, which is passive addiction also, You know, there's one addiction which is to outside stuff, right? To chemical stuff, to drinks,
Right.
to alcohol, to drugs. And then there's that passive addiction, which is not gaslighting, but it's just a passive addiction, which passive, it's a addiction to passive abuse, right?
That's a choice too, Chandana.
Right. It's a choice there, yes. So when there's that addiction and when you are receiving that addiction constantly, what is it? What is it that you can actually be? What is it that you can actually do? What is it that you can actually, one of course is acknowledging it.
Yeah.
What is there beyond that that one can do and be?
So again, the same thing. Everything, the rule is the same. You have to have your barriers down and not making that wrong. And how is that addiction, how is that passive addiction working for you? What is in it that is working for you? There is something for sure that is working for you.
So it's
There is
about
underneath there that it is working for you.
Yeah, that too is a gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you still have a choice. You have to get under the carpet of it. That's when I say be brutally honest to you. What exactly? Maybe some people it might be, oh, because my kids are not grown up. I am not financially independent. I am not choosing this, that. I do not want to move out of the house. It is not good for a wife to move out of the house, or a husband to leave a wife who's, and some people do have those judgments that, okay, maybe, today I leave my husband at this stage of time or a wife at this stage of time, then how loyal was I? How nice was I? At that time when the person really needed me, I left that person. Your own judgments underneath.
Your own judgments that keep you hanging around.
Correct.
Yeah.
There is nothing called more addictive than a judgment, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the biggest addiction, right? We are all addicted to judgment. The rightness and the wrongness of our choice is another.
So it's just the level of addictions of yours which has been projected out, that deeply you are underneath keeping stuff to yourself.
Right.
That is creating your migraines, that is creating issues in your body, because the body says, hey, you are hiding. You are not even willing to be brutally honest to you. What is not working for you here? How many people I've seen have actually worked on themselves and sitting with it to actually work out what is not working. Okay, if I'm abusing, who's abusing the most? Nobody can abuse me other than I. So like I always say that people say, I do not know why the hell I'm living with that person. I'm sorry. As a whole being, as an infinite being, you know everything. You're not choosing to see it. So the most abusive thing I ever see is when people always say, I don't know.
Yeah.
Biggest abuse you can do to yourself, I don't know. There is nothing that you do not know. Acknowledge, I do not want to see it. And that's okay by me. Yeah. Stay with it. The day you choose to see it, go see it. And then choose again. Choice, 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 choice.
And it's okay not to see it too, right? It's okay not to see it, but to acknowledge that I'm not seeing it.
Exactly.
And not to say I don't know, because every time we say I don't know, it's like we invalidate our being, we invalidate our knowing, we put ourselves into a space of actually not willing to allow our being to show up in the world the way it could and the way it is.
Yeah.
Right? So what is your take on what Gary says about no drugs?
I just see it's a choice again. I don't have a point of view on that too. That's Gary's choice. I mean, for me, I cannot stop anybody. I'm nobody to judge anybody's choice.
Right.
It's their choice, their body, their life. Not my monkey, not my story. I'm not getting
I love
there.
it, not my monkey. Keep your monkey, keep your tail.
Who wants to try? Try. Play with it, enjoy. There's nothing wrong, nothing right. If there's nothing wrong, nothing right, then what would you choose? What would create greater for you in your life?
So are you saying it's okay to have people who are on drugs around in your space? That doesn't reverse your financial reality, that doesn't invite entities into your
It does.
space?
I'm not saying it's okay. It's a choice, I'm saying.
Okay.
Everybody
So what?
has a right to make their own choices,
Right. Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
yes, definitely, if it's really draining you down, it's killing you down, and you know this is not working and you're not acknowledging, it will keep
Yeah.
draining your finances, it will keep draining everything around you.
Right.
The moment you are there and holding yourself strong and having your own back and
Mm.
not having no point of view will change everything around
Right.
you.
Right.
Your point of view creates your reality. Fuck
Yeah.
anybody takes away my money, I'll kill them.
Yeah. Absolutely. That killing energy, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can I add something to this? Yeah.
Yes, Manish, please.
So, particularly what you just said, Chandra, what killing energy can you be to kill whatever doesn't allow you to be? And then they start running away.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but they do.
What do you know, Monish,
Really.
right?
And no entity is greater than you.
Absolutely.
I always say that in entity class too. And no, there is no entity bigger and greater than you.
Yeah, you are the dominant entity of
You are the
your life.
dominant entity, and how would you
Absolutely.
let that be?
Yeah.
Can
Yep.
I ask one question,
Yes,
please?
please.
Please
Yes,
do,
please.
Sarita.
Yes, I just wanted to know before this, you were saying that if anybody's abusing you, this is
Mm-hmm.
your choice and it's your being. If you don't want to see it, acknowledge it.
Mm-hmm.
In practical sense, I would ask you,
Mm-hmm.
like for example, my husband, he's a nice person,
Mm-hmm.
but as a person, he's a good human being, a nice person, but in a relationship as a husband wife, towards, he's very critical about whatever I do. So
Mm-hmm.
there's never a peaceful conversation between me and him
Mm-hmm.
whenever we have to discuss on some common topic. So we never reach at any conclusion or anything, because we
Mm-hmm.
either end up fighting,
Mm-hmm.
because everything I say, it's like kind of one sided conversation, and
So
if
what's the
I
question?
say anything and he, yeah. So
So
in
what's the
this kind of
question?
situation,
Mm-hmm.
my question is ki, how to deal with this kind of situation.
First, not making him wrong and not making yourself wrong. First thing
Okay.
first, again, as I've been saying since the start of the call, do not make yourself
Yeah.
wrong. Do not make himself right. And don't make him right
Right.
and yourself right. When you're communicating to each other, you're only proving something. You need a validation. What if
No.
you
So
be sure of what you were talking and what he's talking? What if you can acknowledge what he's talking and you can acknowledge what you're talking? What if it's okay for you guys not to come to a point? And you have an allowance for your point of view and you do not need his validation.
fine. I, whatever you're saying, I agree with you. It's
Mhm.
okay not to like read any conclusion, but then I should acknowledge his point of view. I do
What if his
what
point of
he.
view is an interesting point of view? And your point of view is also an interesting point of view. Then what
No,
would you
I.
create? If everything what you talk is very interesting, and exactly the same way when he's giving a point of view that, okay, this should be done this way. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Wow. Maybe that's like for me, I can give you an example is that I will say to the people that, okay, wow, that's a very, very interesting point of view and interesting way of looking at this thing right now. If you have for example, you have any point of view around how I am looking or what I'm wearing. If my husband says, "Oh, this is not something which I would like," and I'm like, "Hey, okay, wow, that's a very interesting way of looking at it. I totally
Ex-
get you. You do not
yeah.
like it, but that
Yeah.
does not mean I have to change it. I totally acknowledge you. You're not right, or you're not wrong. You're correct
Mm.
in your way,
Mm.
but that doesn't work for me. For me, I feel like wearing these clothes. That's it.
Mm.
I'm not putting him down. I'm acknowledging him as well because if he is wearing a red glass sunglasses and you're wearing a blue sunglasses, everything he sees will be a red in color, and everything you see is going to be blue color, which is never going to match. And he is correct in his way because he can only see red.
That is so wonderfully put, Aradhana. Yeah, yeah, that's so wonderfully put.
Yeah. So then there is no fight. You so and again that comes for allowance too. Allowance
You
for
know,
yourself.
fight is another step. Before that,
Mm-hmm.
I get very upset
Mm-hmm.
when I utter even a word,
Mm-hmm.
in response to whatever he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He starts criticizing me,
Mm-hmm.
and not even in one word. Then he just continues. I say, okay, fine, it's enough, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
So
he
what
doesn't.
next time when he starts stop talking, and if you can put your deepest barriers down and see everything what he's seeing as an interesting point of view, and
Okay.
you don't have to say him right and wrong about it, and just keep saying, "Wow, interesting point of view. He has it." And I'm not asking you to agree or disagree with him. What if you can be neutral to his point of view? Then what would it change? Where are you not willing to put your barriers down and listen as an interesting point of view? Somewhere you're already making him wrong. That no,
Yeah.
listen to me. I'm right.
Okay. All
And
right.
also, if I can
Yeah.
come in here for
Yeah.
just a second, maybe you
Yeah.
can just ask, what energy, space, and consciousness can I and my body be that can have him receive all of me with total ease? That's just willing to be the energy of whatever will have him receive you.
Yeah. What fun can I have him teasing today when he's
Yeah,
talking,
right?
when he's being naughty, when he'd be like, play with that energy, right? Today, now, the moment he's going to be angry, I'm like, going to be naughty. What if we can energetically send him some naughty
Visuals.
visuals? What fun can you have with that?
Yeah. Okay.
If I may
Thank
say,
you.
all of you, thank you,
Thank
Sarita
you.
ji. If I may say, all of you here are so addicted to how you look. Nobody is willing to show their faces unless their names. That's it.
No,
So
here
how are you even
Ritu
fighting
comes every
faces,
month,
guys?
sweetheart. Every 2 weeks. We have Subhav.
No, I mean, there's so many people on this right
Around
now,
right
and I
now.
don't see their
Reshma,
faces.
darling. You
Yes,
means I can see her fan.
I was.
Yay! I mean, you're
Hello,
not willing
hi.
to come and be judged by me too. Where the hell are you gonna fight with your addiction, guys? Yes, there it
Yes.
is. Come on, I love to see your faces, guys. The screen doesn't look nice without your yummy faces.
Yeah,
Yay!
I was purposely not showing my face because I feel I'm too not nice to look at
Yeah,
it,
you'll be
and I'm too
judged.
fat.
You're too fat, darling. You're too fat. You can't be out of your addiction. Fucking addiction, man. Judging. It's okay. मैं लगती हूँ मोटी देखो मैं ऐसी हूँ सांड बोलो क्या करना है ऐसी हूँ. Can you find yourself as a gift, guys? You fucking don't have the balls to come and be on the screen.
No, I'm just trying to now find the link.
Try नहीं होता है. Heart pregnancy नहीं होता मेरे world में.
I love it how slowly we can get to see all the faces.
Oh, come on.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Cheers. Thank you for showing up, guys. I love your energy.
Can I share something on what you
Please
said,
do.
Aradhana?
Please.
Yes,
do.
please.
Yeah.
Yes. Hi.
We were talking. Hi, Sarita.
Hi.
Since Aradhana was telling you about this interesting point of view, and while the conflict, keeping your barriers down and just taking it as an interesting point of view. I have been experimenting with this, and it really helps in dissolving conflict. You must try it out.
Okay, whenever he says something and I'm not liking it, I just say I put my barriers down and they say
Get into
interesting
neutral,
point of view. In my mind only, I
and
just
get
keep
into
repeating.
a neutral zone. Yes, because as soon as we have our barriers up, we don't want to look at any other options at all, no?
Yeah. It's fine. So you can just
I think
keep on
it's a
repeating in your mind.
Yes.
yes.
Okay,
First, stop
thank you.
making anybody wrong, guys. Do not make yourself wrong. Do not make anybody else wrong. Now you look, see, I can see your faces and you look so yummy. All of you look so yummy. I don't feel anybody not looking nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing up.
I've played it before, so that's why I did.
I'm a bossy person. I love looking at everyone. Yeah.
Oh, Ritu, your dog is adorable.
Oh, yeah. See how we could see him also.
Wonderful. See what a gift everybody is. Absolutely correct. Yeah.
Mm.
So any more questions, or do we now go to Dare to Bear?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah,
I
baby.
was telling Chandana the other day, I said, you are you are Karan Johar of consciousness. So you are come on. I love it.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Without controversies.
No controversy.
What if I get the controversies on? How much
We
more
would love
fun can we have?
it. Your
Oh,
value
totally.
will go down.
Cool.
Then
Wonderful.
we'll have more money, Channa.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
big
We're not
hamper of
saying no to
money.
that.
Big hamper.
Absolutely. A hamper too. Yes. Next
Yeah.
time. I was in fact thinking of that. I
Yeah,
said,
please
I need to
start
start
thinking,
giving
yeah.
out
And call
hampers.
me
So if I
again
have to
then.
be
Huh?
Karan Johar, either I'm fully him or not him. If the show is something like
You
that,
won't be Karan Johar.
it's
You are
not him.
Chandana of consciousness. Chandani of consciousness, man. Come on. Be you.
All right. Oh. On that note, everybody who's on is going to receive a little gift from me. Yay.
Wow.
How lovely. She's so
Put
generous. She
your
asked me
put
to
out
gift you
your
guys
email
something.
ID.
That's so beautiful. Lovely,
Oh,
Chandana.
thank you for
Thank you.
receiving, sweetheart. Please send out
Chandana,
your
you already
email
a gift
ID.
to us. Chandana,
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I love you all. I truly, truly adore each one of you.
Thank you. We
You've
do
all
love you
been
too.
such a beautiful gift in my life. Each one of you. And there's a few who I have never met before. But even then, you are all truly a gift. And I'm so happy to see Shobhav.
Yeah, so wow.
Yeah.
Dhanendra is there from the airport. It looks like. Or
Oh, how
office.
wonderful. So, sweetheart Reshma, who is such a gift in my life, will be sending out the gift to everybody. And yeah, what else is
Please
possible?
put in your emails before you leave.
Okay.
All right.
Let
So now
me.
do we go to Dare to Bear?
Yes, please. Yes,
All
please.
right. So, is everybody's barriers down? Aradhana? You ready, baby?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm excited.
All righto. Anita! So nice to see so many faces on. Wonderful. So, the first question, Aradhana, is what are you aware about addiction?
There is a joy and love in everybody under that addiction, which we just need to caress.
Wow. Beautiful. And what is addiction to judgment for you?
What is that?
What is addiction to judgment for you?
For me, myself?
Wonderful. I love that. I'll be addicted to me too. What's your favorite to go to access tool the day you're having a real grumpy day?
What else is possible?
So as a CF, now for what? 4 years? 5 years?
5 years.
Oh my God. Do you still go to the wrongness of you?
Totally. Totally. And I love it.
I love
I love
asking
it.
this question to all the CFs.
I know. I remember you asking Sonal. I was like,
Yeah, I asked Sonal the same thing. And she said, yeah, I do. And I'm like, you're not supposed to, right?
no, there's nothing supposed to, right? What
Yeah.
fun, what sex can
How
I
much
have?
fun can you being in the wrongness of you?
Yeah. I would not say now, I would not say I get into the wrongness of it.
Mm-hmm.
I actually honestly I get into question now. What is that? Is it even mine?
Yeah.
So I think I've crossed that stage of getting into the wrongness of it.
Right. And yeah, wonderful. So what does being you mean to you? I know you're a being you facilitator.
Being me, being joyful, being happy. That's being me. Being the
Awesome.
kindness, be
Wonderful.
what I am as what I am.
Yes. And whatever that shows up as, right?
Yeah, it's
Wonderful.
like it's nothing is concluded. In every second I'm different. I'm joyful. I can be joyful, happy, giggly. I might be sad, upset. That's me too.
Yeah. Yeah, all of you.
Yeah, all of me is me.
Yeah, wonderful. So can you please describe the following words in one word? I mean, it's good. One word is going to be given to you.
God.
Whatever shows up. Okay, and I don't give you more than 1 second to answer for this.
Oh God.
All right, it's like a real fastest finger first.
Tricky. Please help, guys. Cheating.
No cheating in this. Okay, no one's cheating. All right. Choice.
Always
Love.
beautiful.
Work.
Too much.
Hatred.
Joy.
Money.
Exuberant.
Wealth.
Me.
Sex.
Me. Totally.
Marriage.
Compromise.
Okay. Whiskey.
Yummy. That's it. I can say whiskey is totally yummy to me.
Destruction.
Destruction. Choice.
Heavy.
Choice.
You.
Beautiful.
Wonderful. And you get a 10 on 10. If I could give you a gift, I would give you a big hamper.
Thank you. You all being here, showing your lovely faces is the biggest gift.
So true. And thank you for being able to do that for this call.
Oh, I
I'm
loved
giving
it
people
totally.
Boxes with names.
Yeah, I loved your question. I know I don't like these boxes with the names.
Yeah, right? I'm
It's
like,
kind of fun.
guys.
The whole idea is to meet everybody sitting at their home in the comfort zones.
Yeah.
That is actually you, truly you, where you don't have to wear your mask and move out of the houses and like, hey, I'm dressed up. Half the time it's like the funny, no? Underneath when you're wearing enough dresses and like you're just covered here and then like, hey, I'm looking nice.
So that's something that I would so love to share. So often when I have these late night calls and I'm wearing my pajamas underneath and I'm wearing pearls on top. And my husband says,
See, there
are
you
you
go.
going out or are you coming in? Are you getting ready or are you undressing? What are you doing? And in fact, Isha, on the other hand, when she has a call, I think Reshma, you know that, she will even wear her heels and put on her perfume. And we always joke with her that, no one can smell you and no one can see those heels. She says, well, that's just me. So how
that
do you
she gets
really
that,
show up?
energy from it. Everything.
Yeah, right? Yes.
Yeah, totally.
So thank you guys, and thank you. I had a lot of fun with this
Same
conversation.
did I. Thank you
it
so
was
much.
a lot of fun.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome,
Please,
sweetheart.
we have given our emails to you or
Thank
on the
you.
screen.
And my
Thank you.
sweetheart Reshma will forward it to you.
Thank you.
Thank
Reshma.
you. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everyone, for
Bye-bye.
being on, and a huge gratitude once again for making this
Thank you.
possible. Thank you. I mean, without
Thank
all
you.
of you on,
Yes.
I always say this is not going to be possible. It's
Thank
just
you
not
for your beautiful contribution to all of us.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah,
sweetheart.
thank you, Aradhana.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, love. Thank you. And I wonder how much greater we can all create
Yes, yeah.
by just being there for each other, by having each other's backs and knowing that we are the universe.
Yes.
We are the ones that are a part of this universe. And the universe has, when we say the universe has your back, and we're willing to have each other's backs. And make sure when anyone falls, you're there to just hold them up.
Anna, for that you'll have to give me a hamper. Only then. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Done. You're getting a hamper. On the Ask and you shall receive, girls.
Thank you.
And
Okay. Bye-bye.
thank you, and I love you all.
Thank you. It was a
And
pleasure being
see
here.
you in 2 weeks with another fabulous facilitator.
Awesome. Keep
Looking
creating
forward.
love.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye. No